Good evening, guys. Welcome back to this lovely channel. The last Friday weekly close for commodities before Christmas, maybe even before 2024, because I don't know how many trading days that there are left next week and the weeks until New Year. We will see. But definitely we need to go through what has happened in the commodity space, gold, silver, copper, oil, and all that good stuff. But before we do, I want to show you that actually we I did a video with Andy yesterday, a 1 hour talk with him about gold, about silver. Check it out. I had a blast, and I think we did cover some great stuff as we always do. Hopefully you agree. Check it out. Check it out. So again, silver weekly closes. Yes, up 1% or 2 this week. Nothing big. What we are just waiting for is that breakout right here of that golden channel. And I think we will see the exact same thing as we saw in 2008 when we broke a one-way street more or less to 50. That is exactly what we are waiting for here, at least into the 40s. With some overperformance, we can actually hit that 50. Same thing here in 2004 to 2005 when we broke blast off. When we break blast off, this will also be a blast off. I would be surprised if that isn't the case. And yes, 26, nothing has changed. $26, guys, 26, the neckline, and breaking out of the double golden resistance. It is quite simple in my view. We need to get above here. When we do, prepare your seat belts. Gold, again, we had an intraday poke above the three, previous all-time highs. You can see here we poked it, came all the way back during the late trading session in the US. But definitely 1, 2, 3, we had that big blast, and now we're coming in again. And I think a weekly close above that all-time high, roughly 2075, a weekly close there. And we are not going to be looking back from that point of view. If we stay here for like a week or two, you can also see the 30 weekly will start to move up here, confirming the uptrend. You can also see it has started already. Yeah, hugely bullish on gold. The gold to silver ratio also confirms this take. We are just winding up here within that squeeze. Still nothing major has happened this week. Bit of a wick below. However, we are still in the squeeze and in the bear flag. And in my view, we are going to collapse down there just like we did in 2008. And we grinded that here, same thing as we have here. And it's going to collapse big time. That is my take. That is what I see as the highest probability. Yes, we did get a bit of a big green candle today, which I'm not worried, but definitely it is a strong candle that could lead to some early weakness in the next week for gold and silver. I'm talking very short-term momentum. Dixie getting below that long-term green. We should flip it to red now because it is resistance. 2016, 20, you can see here actually we are now below. We're also below that internal golden trend line there. So actually, this is a huge breakdown in my book for the Dixie, that it couldn't hold that roughly $102 level, not dollar level, but yeah, dollar level for the Dixie. Big breakdown for me. So that's obviously a tailwind for gold and silver and other commodities. The US 10-year, nothing major has happened. All the hard work has been done here, breaking down. And yes, it is still my take that we're going to visit 2.5, not in a straight line, but all the supports, you can see the uptrend there, the golden uptrend broken, the highs broken, that high broken, and we're now below. And next step is roughly in this vicinity, right? At roughly 3.3. So all the hard work with regarding to breaking down has been done, and the next step is roughly those lows right there. Oil on the weekly chart, what is important right now is actually that downtrend channel there on the weekly. Bit of a poke above here, couldn't quite clear it, and we are now back in. We want to break it to the upside. If we don't, I think we can go all the way down to roughly in the mid 60s. And hopefully that is the bounce. We cannot lose that long-term golden trend line. It goes way back to 2008, and that is the prime trend line to hold. Anything above, and this is actually, in my view, just a huge breakout, retest, retest, and then at some point in time, resumption, breaking out of that long-term macro channel there with 3 impulse lower lows, and we're now just sitting with bullish consolidation above. I like it, but this is the weekly and monthly charts, remember, so this is not something that you will see resolve during one day. It takes a very long time. These are very, very long-term patterns. So Palladium, you know where we are. We have seen our false breakdown actually 2 times, and then we snapped back here. This is exactly what we want to see. Beautiful. And yeah, we should now look for pullbacks or bull flags. Any bullish trigger that can trigger a move further up, we should be basically buying, retesting, or whatever you want to do. Maybe all the way down here, but definitely any setup that triggers your entry in an uptrend should get bought up here, in my view. We have had what we've been looking for, and now comes the important part, the buying, depending on however the setup will be. Also, if you look at the palladium and platinum miners, they are also doing quite well. And this is a reflection of what is happening for palladium. I think at least during 2024, we are going to visit that lower trend line coming back to here at roughly 1,500, maybe a tad higher. Now that is one of my targets for 2024. You also have that neckline that needs to get cleared if we want to have any more upside than, you know, roughly 1,500. But definitely we are now going to have a move higher here. There's a lot of shorting going on. They need to cover very soon. Platinum sitting the long-term golden trend line, which I talk about more or less in every chart. We're sitting right there, trying to break out. And yes, we have a next step here, which is this double internal. And then last but not least, the neckline. There it is. When we get there, we will trigger a whole new uptrend for platinum, pointing to, if I remember correctly, we can actually measure the pole here very quickly, roughly, very quickly. When we trigger this one, we should see moves that takes us into the 2K level. So that high roughly over here. For platinum, definitely we are doing all the hard work, as I often say right now. But when and if we clear that blue, all the hard work is done, and you have your trigger to a lot higher price for platinum in 2024. Copper, as you know, bullish above $4. We're sitting right now at 3.9. Bullish above 4, bearish below 3.5. So nothing much to add here really, other than I'm heavily skewed to the bullish camp, depending, given the fact that we have had a false breakdown, double bottom, and now we are above the golden. In my view, we're just waiting before we break higher here. Again, confirming another wave of inflation is probably about to hit us within 24 months time. Nat gas here, again, bouncing roughly at the lower side of the bear flag. In my view, we need to get above that golden trend line for any positive views. I have removed a lot of the intern stuff that we have been following here and only looking at the broader stuff here. So if this is a flag, you know, actually we could see moves that actually goes way lower here, down to even 1 at some point in time. If that were to happen, I don't think it will. I think this trend line here will hold. So the maximum down target that I have is a tad below 2. But definitely we're seeing a bounce here. The last week's candle you can see here very bullish, and we're having some follow through this week. I think also is there a trend line that we can add in? Yes, there is. We have some sort of a 2-month breakout here as we speak, pointing to that we could have a move well into that mid splitter here, roughly $3 before any major resistance. But definitely a tiny breakout here for nat gas within a bear flag. Obviously, long term, or for the past year, it's been in a bear flag. Same for the TTF, nothing new, exact same setup. I will not spend any more time on that. Coal, last week we had that false breakout, and we are having continuation here, excuse me, this week with a tiny red candle. we're not bullish until we can see some clear signs that we have broken it here and that we are consolidating above. And we're still holding our 2018 highs where we saw that bounce. So anything in between here, we do not know the direction. More skewed to the downside since we're in a downtrend. But let's wait and see what happens, breakout, or we actually continue down here. In my view, you shouldn't have a position in the commodity itself when we are right here as we speak, because you don't know the trajectory. You know it only if you break up or down. It is quite simple. Bitcoin, I want to show you how, the level 44K, roughly speaking right now. You can see here, actually, it is a big level. You can see all the interactions that is going on in the 44. And that is really the next step to take out. So 44, it needs to close above. We have hit our target of that inverted head and shoulders, and with some overperformance in a bearish channel here still. So there is a lot of things going on. Also, if you go back way longer, I want to show you. You can only find this channel on a log scale. You can see it here. If we add it up, that was the incorrect one. You can, well, if you take that low, combine it to that low, you can actually see that basically right now on a very, very long-term chart, we are actually breaking down and bear flagging below a massive resistance line. Not ideal. And yes, Bitcoin needs to clear that one. And I also noted, and I posted that actually, I think it was Amazon did more or less the exact same thing during the dot-com bubble, grinding here all the way to the highs, and then started a 95% decline over the next few years. And the fractals on the way up here is more or less spot on. All right. Uranium spot price, I think we have a $93 ask as we speak. Ask with a K as we speak. And yeah, nothing new. I won't spend much of your time, but we are definitely going to visit, in my view, $100. Gap fill, a 3-digit. We're going from 2-digit to 3. Big resistance there at $100 for uranium spot price. Looks fantastic. And again, I also think you see some early signs here that the miners is responding to a possible big move and outperformance by the miners in relation to the metal itself. Sugar, a great call by my good friend Burak up here, shorting it from 27. I do not know if he's still in, but as mentioned, I think we're going down to here at roughly 20 before we see a big bounce. Well, excuse me, because basically what we're seeing now is a breakout and a huge retest. So textbook stuff here. And when we get to here, I think if you want to play sugar, you can have an entry at that trend line. Stops below, obviously, but definitely this one should bounce here. Then we just need to see how big the bounce will be. Soybeans, I want to go to the daily. As long as we are in this bull flag here and above that golden trend line below, it is actually bullish and we should resolve to the upside. For soybeans, squeezing here, and yeah, again, we are in the squeeze, so we shouldn't be long or short right now as long as you are there for soybeans. But definitely it should resolve within, if I can catch the correct, there it is. As long as we are in this triangle, it should show us the direction within a few weeks, a few months here. Silver against empty money supply. Yes, we have broken the big stuff. The big golden trend line, broken, beautiful. And now we have the absolute last piece in the puzzle, which is that neckline right there. You can see here, we hit it early December, and now a huge rejection, and now we're coming back up above our blue megaphone pattern there. And again, if we start to break here, then all the hard work that we have done for the past 2 years is finally over. And silver will, in my book, start to outperform M2 money supply. Beautiful. Same thing for gold. Gold has actually done a lot more hard work than silver. And again, bit of a skewed line here, but again, I think that is the one to take out. And that will coincide, in my view, with the silver breaking the neckline. All the hard work has been done. You know, the golden trend line is broken. And yeah, bull flagging here. Yes, I mean, gold is leading right now as it should, and then once it confirms, you know, well into the 2Ks, silver will start its move above the 26 bucks. That is all, and that is probably the last commodities weekly update in 2023. It's been a blast, guys, and I think we're setting up for something very exciting 2024. Especially silver miners, gold miners looks beautiful, about to break out. It's still a hated sector. That's even more bullish. So yeah, it is looking really good. And guys, if we will not keep in touch or anything, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff, and stay safe. And then we will see you in the next year. Cheers, guys. Bye.